Hey everybody, this is GGB. Today we're going to be talking about our two ranked matchups. If you did not know, there was no upsets yesterday. We almost had one. Marquette was that close. It was literally a couple inches to the right of sending that game to overtime and being really interesting, right? It would have made I think it was 12. That would have been 12 out of 13 days where we got an upset. Unfortunately, we did not get that. So our 5-day streak of having an upset every day ended on Sunday, but we got two new games today. Unfortunately, I can't, I have to record this Sunday night, so I can't with any degree of accuracy tell you where these people will be in the rankings, but I can guarantee you that both these teams will be in the top 25 and probably the top 10 come next week. At 6 o'clock, we got number 9 Duke, which is at 17-3, traveling to Notre Dame, which is at 14-6. Duke favored by 5.5 points on ESPN. 8 o'clock, we got West Virginia, which is at 13-7, traveling to number 4 Baylor, which is at 18-3. Baylor favored 14 points on ESPN. So let's go over Duke real quick, right? Obviously, Duke has been one of the hotter teams in the country, right? One of the best. What is interesting about this game between Duke and Notre Dame, right, is it contains one of the surprises of the entire year, at least for me. I mean, you're looking at it. It's Duke, obviously. If you told me if you told me to predict what the ACC is going to look like, give me the top 3 teams in your opinion in the ACC. I would have went like Duke, UNC, Florida State probably would have been my top 3. I think you could have made an argument for maybe Virginia or Louisville in there, right? But nah, the top 3 is Miami, Duke, and Notre Dame. And I'd like to point out Miami was not good last year. They were mediocre. They weren't horrible, but they weren't like a tournament team, right? Obviously. And they were a team that almost snuck past Virginia to make it to the next round in the ACC tournament. Virginia had an amazing shot to win that game in regulation. But Miami was not good last year. And then you look at Notre Dame. Notre Dame was bad. Notre Dame was a really bad basketball team last year. They had just eked by Wake Forest in the ACC Conference Championship round, and that was the first round. Then they just got absolutely bulldozed by UNC, and suddenly you're looking at it. You got Miami and Notre Dame, not only the two biggest surprises in the ACC, probably two of the bigger surprises in the entire country. It's these two teams that really have come out of nowhere to be in the top of the ACC. But if you're looking at it, Duke and Notre Dame are tied for second place. Whoever wins this game will be in a tie for first. At least until Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Miami plays Notre Dame it's a big matchup, right? But whoever wins this game is in a tie for first place at least until Wednesday, right? If Duke wins this game, they're 8-2. Notre Dame wins this game, they're 8-2. Whoever loses this game falls to 7-3 and enters a tie with UNC, right? UNC is then So if UNC it doesn't matter to you. Obviously, you'd love as a UNC fan to see Duke lose. That would be ideal. But it doesn't matter for you conference standing-wise. You don't benefit anything from Duke winning. You don't benefit anything from Duke losing. The only two teams that are going to be watching this, or other than just pure basketball fans like myself, I'm going to be probably watching this game because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But outside of that, I think Duke has a phenomenal... Duke is really good. Notre Dame's really good. I think this is going to be a really good basketball game. No one else in the ACC should really care all that much, though. Then you look at the other conference we got. We got Big 12 going on. West Virginia versus Baylor. Now, Baylor has a 6-2 record with a win, moves to 7-2. It doesn't matter for Baylor. You look at it, a 7-2 record's not better than Kansas's 6-1 record. They're not going to pass them that way. If you lose, you fall to 6-3. Texas at 5-3. So obviously, you don't want to fall to 6-3. That's obviously not ideal because Texas are right behind you. They just need to win at some point, right? Texas Tech plays Texas on Tuesday, so you'll look at that game. That game's going to be huge, but if you're a Texas Tech or Texas fan, you would love a loss by Baylor because if you win then on tomorrow, then you are tied for second place. So that's pretty amazing, but Baylor's not going to move regardless, depending on what happens today. It'll probably move tomorrow if it loses this game. Now, look at West Virginia. West Virginia is in second to last place, only ahead of Kansas State. They have the longest losing streak in the Big 12, which is impressive considering Kansas State is in the Big 12. But West Virginia sits at 2-5 with a win, moves to 3-5, and enters a 4-way tie for 6th place, which is extremely impressive if you're West Virginia, right? You lose 5 straight and you're in a four-way tie for 6th place. So, like, again, the Big 12 at the bottom is very close. I think there's, like, 4 teams at the top, really. You got Kansas, Baylor, Texas Tech, and Texas, obviously. Texas, by the way, has the longest winning streak in the Big 12. I was surprised by that fact. But you just looking at it from a pure statistical standpoint, this would be a big win for Iowa State. On the other hand, it would be a big loss because if you lose this game, you enter a tie for last place with Kansas State. They're not good, guys. They're a bad basketball team. I thought they were good. I thought they really were good when they almost beat Kansas. They've played some pretty abysmal basketball over the past week, and it's really changed my opinion on them. So those are the only 2 games we got going on. Now, we could have more, right? I have no clue who's going to be ranked, but these are the people I know are going to be ranked next week. And if I had to pick one, I got to pick Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame's a team that is really hot right now. You look at it, they have a 4-game winning streak in the ACC, by the way, which is the longest winning streak in the ACC. Now, Duke has tied for the second longest active winning streak with 3 straight wins, so it's going to be interesting there. But I think if you're going to talk about teams that are really good and has a chance at upset, you have to talk about Notre Dame, and I think the Fighting Irish can get this done. Hey, everybody, this is GGB saying adios, amigos, and go Fighting Irish. One last thing before I go. It is my dad's birthday today, so everyone in the comment section below, wish him a happy birthday. He's a cool dad. He's one of the best dads, I think, in the entire world. He's awesome, so if you guys can just give him a quick happy birthday down below, that'd be really awesome. But thanks.